What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk on Thursdays. Y'all know what time it is. So look, y'all, it's Thursdays. Coach Keefa, the Savage One, is back. And I hope you guys are ready for what we got today. Y'all know I love talking about robots and bots and robes and bots and robots and robotics and AI and all of the stuff you need in your life that you didn't even know you needed in your life. Because guess what? It's already in your life, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. It's time to come to the 22nd century. Yeah, I'm going to say the 22nd century because already we're in the 21st century. All right, but look, it's Tuesday, Savage Talk with Keefa from 5 to 7 p.m. on 101 TKO Radio. I want y'all to chime in as always. If I'm lying, y'all tell me. If I'm trying, okay, give it to your girl because I'm trying to give the people what they want. As I always say, give the people what they want because then they're going to pay you for it. Then they're going to love you for it. You want to know why? Because as much as y'all be sharing what y'all are up to, myself included, you know what I always say. When I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself. As much as we share what we up to, people don't really care if it doesn't help them. That's a fact. They might have the Google eye emojis. Yeah, they'll be onlookers, but they won't be action takers. And you want people in your life that are action takers. Even if it's your family and your friends. Don't you hate it when you say you're doing a cookout and everybody's all gung-ho? Oh, yeah, we doing this. We coming. We going to do this together. And then when it's time to show up and show out, where the people at? Where are they at? So you want people in your life who are action takers, who's not afraid to support you, who's not afraid to be part of your tribe. Those are the folks you want. So I'm just sharing that. Thursday, today is March 14th. I want to send a special shout out to my sister, my road dog, all my shenanigans, all my travels. She's always there. So big shouts out to my sister. So look, I hope y'all have downloaded the all new app. Did you download the app to see what's popping, to see what's cracking? Well, if you have not, download the app. We're streaming live on YouTube right now. Yeah, you can go on YouTube right now. Or you can call in 678-439-7419, 678-439-7419. I got some good stuff to talk about. All right, so there's a humanoid robot. And you guys, when I say robots, if I don't say humanoid robot, that means a robot that can just be a piece of metal. A humanoid robot has human-like features. But I'm going to tell you something, y'all. Y'all probably don't remember this. There was a study many years ago. And what that study showed was real human people like me, like you, real human people, we don't like looking at robots that look real close to human. The kind that we've seen in the movies, like robots, you know it's a robot, but they try to make the girls real pretty and, they be having curves and all type of stuff that somebody's ideal woman has. Not everybody's. But the truth is, real human people do not like looking at humanoid robots. We don't accept them because it's creepy to us. It really is. It's creepy because they have human characteristics, but the skin is a little bit off. The eyes are a little bit lifeless. The smiles, not even when it's a video or on a movie. We don't even like to see it in movies, y'all. Do y'all remember Terminator? That was probably like one of the first movies that I remember when they tried to have a cyborg. Now, yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme, he did a lot of super soldier, cyborg, but I'm talking about like with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first Terminator. That was really the first one that I remember where they was trying to have robot up underneath skin and project that onto a movie. And yeah, it looked fake as hell. However, it was a great movie because that's all we had. It really was. So the thing is, as technology gets better, our minds actually don't. When it comes to visualizing stuff, back in the days, when we didn't have all these video games that were so graphic, our minds had to do that work. Our minds had to fill in the blanks. Our minds had to figure out what would this character look like in real life. Because we're imagining this. But as humans, we imagine games as if it would be in real life. If this was my real life, if Grand Theft Auto was my real life. Now, mind you, y'all, I don't play them games. I don't play those games. It's not that I don't like video games. I think they dope. But I don't have time. I'm trying to be out here making this money. Okay? Giving the people what they want. And ain't nobody told me I want you to play Grand Theft Auto. Ain't nobody told me. So, since ain't nobody said they're going to pay me to do that, I'm not doing it. However, for those of y'all that's into those video games, see, you don't have to imagine anything now. It's all done for you. And the scary part about that, I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why that's scary. Because you lose what you don't use. Always talk about that, just like muscles, just like physical muscles. If you ain't working them out, whatever muscles you had, you're going to lose them. That's number 1. You use what you don't lose. So your ability to have an imagination will go by the wayside and it will slowly dwindle away. Imagine what your life would be like if you cannot imagine. Because imagination is a thought. All the success you have in your life, it started with your imagination. You had to imagine that you could do the thing that you're doing right now that's making you successful. And if you're not successful, what if you're not successful because you don't have the ability to imagine the level of success that you want? Yeah, a lot of people are in that predicament. You can call it what you want. Some people call it self-limiting beliefs. But it means the same. You cannot imagine your own success. So video games have become so graphic that your mind does not have to fill in the blanks. That is a bad thing. And number 2, the other reason why that is a bad thing is because you won't recognize if you're being guided in a particular direction. And maybe that's not the direction you want to go. Because, see, you're just following along with the program. You're following along with the program. You're following along with the programming. Okay? Remember I talked about Google bringing up specific search results because it is guiding you to look at certain things that maybe aren't the direction you intended to go. How are you going to know if you don't even have an imagination to see another perspective? So those are the downsides of all of the technology. However, if you have an awareness of it, you can make sure that you can learn, you can enjoy all the technology like I do, but you don't have to lose your own brain in the process. In fact, you can use all the technology so that your own brain grows, and you can use that technology as an extension of your brain. So where I don't know the mathematics and I don't know the equations and I don't know the coding, that is where I lean on artificial intelligence. So I can continue building my brain and continue building my knowledge in AI, knowledge in technology. And then check this out, y'all. This is why I love this. Okay, think about if you've ever played an instrument. Okay, if you're some sort of musician, a rapper, whatever, see, before you get your own style, you have to play other people's. And when you get good at plucking learn the notes, you learn the basics. You learn your A note, your C, E, you learn F, G, you learn chords, you learn what key something is in, and you pluck away at it, playing other people's things. And while you're playing their thing, see, you're also building up your own knowledge. And what ends up happening is what you've learned from playing other people's songs and other people's riffs. Think about Slash. Y'all remember Slash from Guns N' Roses? Dope guitar player. Why? Because, see, he grew up playing Bootsy Collins. Okay? He grew up playing Jimi Hendrix. When you become all of the greatest musicians and artists in the world, they studied other great artists and musicians. And not only did that train them on the other artists and musicians, but it expanded their own knowledge and brain. So now they have information to pull from when they're creating their own sound. If you are not learning from other places outside of yourself, then your knowledge is going to be real small and shallow. That is the same thing as letting these video games create your entire universe. You have got to use your own imagination so that you can fill in the gaps and you can see opportunities when they're in front of you. Now, a lot of y'all, you won't see opportunities if you see the word AI. You're going to automatically rule yourself out because you feel like you don't know AI. It's just confusing to you. You know what it is, kinda, but you don't know how to use it. You want to use it, but then you kind of have a fear of it. You actually have got to start learning this stuff and implementing. That way you can have the best of both worlds. Okay? It's like learning an instrument. Like learning in school. They give you some old raggedy clarinet. Look, the schools don't have all the money for the great instruments. But when you a kid, you take what they got because your parents didn't have the money either. So when they gave you a rusty clarinet or, some drums, you take that and you work it until you've outgrown it. Y'all, it's Thursday. Savage Keefa, Savage Talk with Keefa, 5 to 7 p.m. You are listening to Keefa on 101 TKO Radio, where we knock it out the box always and always. Give me your ear for the next hour and 40 minutes. Don't go nowhere. We coming right back after the break.
Okay, men. This is your
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back. Thank y'all for sticking around after the break. So, look, humanoid robots. Y'all know I love robot talk. I was saying, the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, it looked fake. Yeah, they tried to put skin on him. It looked all rubbery when he really started turning into the Terminator. When he really started turning into the Terminator, you could tell it was fake. But our imagination filled in those blanks. Now it's just less and less imagination. So this humanoid robot somewhere over in like Dubai or somewhere, accidentally, maybe on purpose, tried to touch a reporter's booty. Now, folks are saying that the robot is a pervert. Okay, but listen, can a robot be a pervert if a robot is not self-aware? All right, this is the question. Right? So one of the main things that distinguishes us human beings from things that are living but are not human beings is the fact that we are self-aware. We are self-aware. Now, it used to be said that, dogs and cats, all of them, they're not self-aware. I think now, though, there's some studies that show that there is a bit of self-awareness, not to the degree of a human. So this robot, it's a humanoid robot. That means that it looks kind of human. Okay, so because they were in Saudi Arabia, not Dubai. So they're in Saudi Arabia. And so the humanoid robot is dressed up like a man would be in Saudi Arabia. He's got his head garb on. He's got all of the clothing, right? I can't tell online about the skin. Sometimes online skin can look one way, but in person it looks another way. So I don't know if it looks like rubber or latex or if it looks like real skin. It does on like me looking at it online. But the thing is, so the robot puts his hand on the reporter's booty. Now, is the robot a weirdo? Is the robot a weirdo because he touched the reporter's booty? Now, obviously, I don't think so. Now, there's some women, and let me ask you, if you were here, we talking about, okay, now let's talk about American women. Let's say you at a function or somewhere, and you see this humanoid robot, and the fascination, you want to go check it out. So when you go check out the robot, you didn't wait at your turn in line, and you get your opportunity to walk up to the robot and interact with the robot. Hey, Mr. Robot, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. And it even has a Saudi Arabian accent. Okay, it has a Saudi Arabian accent, and he's putting on the charm and asking you, so where are you from? And you say, I'm from the United States. I'm from Georgia. And the robot says, well, good. Would you like my autograph? And you like, but you ain't famous, but okay. So you lean in to get an autograph, and the robot touches your booty. Now, as an American, what are you going to do? So the robot with them hard A hands, y'all know what the A means, because they probably didn't put no latex. Well, maybe they did. I don't know, but I'm just assuming. Listen, this is a test unit, so we saving on costs. You put all the latex and the rubber on the face, but leave the hands alone, because if it don't work out, we ain't trying to waste that money. So anyway, the robot smacks you on the booty with them hard hands. What do? Are you going to be mad and call the robot a weirdo? You going to try to fight it? What you going to do? Me personally, I'm going to laugh, because I'm going to tell the robot, I'm going to say, oh, you know what you did, don't you? And I want to see how it responds to me, because, as I said, it's my belief that something like that cannot be intentional. It cannot be intentional because a robot doesn't have any self-awareness. Now, it does bring up the question of what are the sensibilities of the men who are training these robots, just like in chatbots. A chatbot, when it's trained, it can take on whatever narrative that whoever owns the chatbot, whatever they're putting in it, it can take on that narrative. That is the reason why when I talked about Google's Gemini, when they pulled it off, because it was pulling up all of these inaccurate pictures. So when you prompted to show you a visual of a historic figure, Google was apparently too woke. And so it was showing, Vikings as black people. It was showing popes as Asians. But what they were doing was giving a visual of what the future could look like if diversity, equity, and inclusion was actually a thing that was being practiced instead of torn down. That's how I look at it. Because obviously we haven't had any Asian popes. So I know that's inaccurate. But see, I'm not one that's going to say that's racist. Why? Because my whole life I've been on the other end of the spectrum. And I know what it feels like to have your history whitewashed and to be told that Jesus was white, okay, which is an impossibility. So I understand what Google was doing. But I digress. Let me get back to this Saudi Arabian humanoid robot that touches booties. Now, I would find it funny. I've never been one of them women that I get offended. If they touch me in the wrong way, they gonna see Jesus early. Just put it that way. We talking about Jesus. If a person tries to touch me in the wrong way, a person, a robot, or whatever, yeah, they gonna be seeing Jesus early. But if it's something innocent like this humanoid Saudi Arabian robot, then I'm not going to say anything. However, I am always going to question who actually programmed you, Mr. Saudi Arabian booty touching robot. Who programmed you? Who started your learning? Because the thing is, these robots, once you start them up, and you prime their initial priming, meaning you've taught them how the initial things that they need to know to function, they will then begin learning from the input and the information and the data that they are taking in. That is how they can be conversational. That is how they appear more human, because they're conversational. That is the one thing that makes humans gravitate to these chatbots. If you have a chatbot that talks to you, that knows your name, that is like your Alexa, in fact, that knows, imagine your Alexa, but 1,000 times more powerful in conversation and understanding you, even though it's the appearance of understanding you. See, there's also other studies. I talked about this on other shows. But when it comes to humans, and let's say humans that see therapists, a person will talk to a robot and actually get the same feelings of I feel better if the robot actually talks back to them and has conversation with them. It doesn't even have to be a real therapist, but studies show that makes people feel better. That makes people feel less isolated. So now what we can see in the future is, instead of paying all of these thousands of dollars for service dogs, we can have service robot dogs. Okay? That in essence can help people feel better the exact same way that regular real service dogs can. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, a lot of the benefits of service dogs is the petting and the rubbing. I know what y'all thinking. Listen, I'm already there. But check this out. How many of y'all, if you like me, how many of y'all have Mongolian lambskin rugs at your house that you use as bedspreads or that you use as rugs? Or how many of y'all have, some sort of tactile something? It could be stuffed animal, blanket, pillow, something that feels good to you, that you like what it feels like when it touches your skin, and it ain't an actual real animal. You see what I'm getting at? Those exact benefits that you get from petting your service animals, you can get that from a robot dog that has the same tactile senses. If you can rub your robot dog and you ain't ever got to worry about feeding it, you ain't ever got to worry about cleaning out a litter box, you don't ever have to worry about walking it, you don't ever have to worry about it getting out and biting somebody, you don't ever have to worry about taking it to the veterinarian, you don't ever have to worry about some of your Raggedy A neighbors trying to steal your dog, because the expensive dogs, you catch them on the Ring camera trying to get your dog. If you don't have to worry about anybody trying to steal your dog out the car, you don't ever have to worry about getting it on an airplane, going into a restaurant, all of these things, and most importantly, you don't ever have to prepare for your robot dog to die. That's a real thing. If you can give all of that up for a ready-made robot dog that has the tactile feel that you prefer. Oh man, this is deep, y'all, because what if you could order it with whatever exterior you want? What if you can decide you want yours to look like a Yorkie, or you want yours to look like a Chihuahua, or maybe you want yours to look like a Cane Corso? Okay, that's the super expensive model. So you might want to back down off your Cane Corso and get you a mini poodle. So check it out. Listen, I'm going to take a robot dog all day. All day. Because I don't have to clean up no boo-boo. I don't have to be chasing. I spend so much time chasing my little hood dogs around, trying to get them from chasing the neighbors, telling them to be quiet because they bark at every little wind blow. They get, little dogs, they get to barking. Anytime somebody fart, they start barking. I don't need all of that. Give me a robot dog. In fact, I don't care what breed, as long as he work, long as I can charge him up, long as he don't have teeth that can bite me. I don't ever have to worry about feeding, watering, all of that stuff. Listen, I want somebody, get on YouTube or call me and give me one legitimate reason why you should have a real dog over a robot dog. You listening to Savage Talk with Keefa. We'll be back after the break. Think about it on the break and come back and tell me. We'll be right back. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back. Yeah, I'm glad y'all stuck around after the break. So I posed a question. I always have questions that's going to make you think. So Nelson said he's going to have a robot dog and his regular dogs. I'm cool with that. Here's my thought. I have 2 real life dogs now. When I can get my robot dog, when my regular dogs die, that's it for them. I'm going straight robot. Because check this out. We love coming home and our dogs are happy to see us and greet us and all of that stuff. Right? Now imagine you come home, you already took your shower, you ready to just unwind. So you sit down on the couch, put your feet up, and you say, Rover, whatever you call your dog. Rover comes over. He hops up on the couch. You start petting Rover, relaxing. And then Rover says, hey, Keefa, how was your day? What? Yes, Rover is going to ask you not only how your day was, but he's going to ask you how you're feeling, what we need to work on today. All of the things that you really need to get out of your head, Rover's right there to listen and answer. Now, this is powerful, you guys. This is powerful. I've been saying AI, artificial intelligence, find a way to create opportunities to fill in the gaps. You need your imagination for this. You need your imagination. I've been told, listen, girl, you can come up with some crazy stuff. Yeah, that's because I practice. And you know what? Imagination is a muscle. That's why as we become adults, we kind of lose it because we stop using it. We use it when we're children. It's the most powerful when we're children. But you can fire that muscle back up, regain its strength, and implement it in everything you do in your life. But you got to practice using it. So many people are afraid to think beyond their circumstances and the people around them. If you want to have the success you want for your life and that you deserve, sometimes that means outthinking the people around you. That happens. That's a real thing. And the people around you that you love, that you hope will be your biggest supporters, may not be. And it's okay. Because what will happen is, see, your imagination will grow so strong that not only is it strong enough to carry the weight of your dreams to fruition, but it will be strong enough to bring them along too and help them even see a vision that's for them. All of that, all of the stuff I'm talking about with the robots, this was somebody's imagination first. So when you guys think it cannot be done, all of this stuff started in somebody's head as an imaginative practice first. It may have been 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but it was an imaginary practice, imaginative practice. And now look where we are, talking about robot dogs. Humanoid. So the humanoid robot that touched the reporter's booty, that was in Saudi Arabia, okay? Riyadh. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's one of the popular big, beautiful cities. A friend of mine been trying to get me to go to Saudi Arabia. That's one place I said, okay, well, that ain't going to be at the top of the list. It's on the list. So the reporter, how would you feel about it? If you felt like a humanoid touched you in an inappropriate way, are you going to be upset? I think for me, like I said, I'm not going to be upset because I understand what's going on. But it brings to light the question of, and not just for this humanoid robot, but since we're talking about artificial intelligence, robots, all of this, we are going to get to a point, I believe, that is just going to come down to sheer preference. See, right now, like I can tell if something is written by chat versus a real person. I can tell. Not everybody else can tell. However, the evolution of artificial intelligence is that eventually we will not be able to tell. These chatbots and these language models are going to get so good that we won't be able to tell if a human wrote it or if chat wrote it. Okay, so what does that mean? If you can't tell whether a human or a robot wrote something, this means that Hollywood writers are in trouble. This means that content writers are in trouble. This means that a lot of folks who rely on writing and copywriting and generating content, AI is replacing all of that. So eventually, it's just going to be a simple question of ethics. It's an ethical question. Do you prefer buying and supporting people, or do you prefer buying and supporting people who are using robots to do and create the thing that you want? Go ahead, Nelson.
All right, we got a question that came up on our YouTube page, and this is related to the topic you was talking about, robot dogs. This came from Jules. He says, if robot dogs could ever truly mimic real dogs with genuine emotion and deep bonds, it could be a compelling option for me. Could they ever mate to have the best of both dogs?
Okay. Oh, like, so we talking mating as in a real dog and a robot dog. Well, see, that's the movies, Jewel. Let me tell you, there's no such thing as robots mating with non-robots. Why? Because they don't have the ability to reproduce. They're made of inorganic material, and reproduction can only occur when you have living, live, breathing material. Okay, even if it's no exact egg, you guys remember in science when you learned about amoebas? Okay, one cell and that cell reproduces. It's living. That's the thing that distinguishes us. Living material is made up of cells. Inorganic is made up of protons and neutrons. Okay, now it's still energy, but it's not living. So a robot will never be able to mate with a dog, with a human, with a horse, with any of that. But scientists, people, when we attempt to bring things together, it's nothing different than a cyborg, which is part human, part robot. However, we can't even, and think about this, we're in a time where we have gender reassignment, and, men that were born men are trying to become women, and we are far enough along in science where science is attempting to help these men who transition to women have children in an organic reproductive way, which ain't possible. Okay? It's just not, it's not possible. So think about that. And the reason why I bring that up is because humans, we know a whole lot. But see, we can't reproduce what God has done. That's the thing. And even if we create all of the robots in the world, we will never, ever be able to reproduce what God does naturally. Okay? And that is girls turn into women who have the ability to make babies with the help of a man. Okay? We can't do it on our own. We need a man. Now, Now, I know what some of y'all think. I don't need a man, this and that. I can go to, yes, you can go to a fertility bank. You can do all of that. So I'm talking from a high level, okay? You need an egg and a sperm. That's organic material made up of cells, okay? A baby starts from an egg in a woman's uterus, okay? When it's fertilized by the man's sperm, it's one cell that splits off and creates other cells. We are really just now at a point where we can take those cells, stem cells, you heard of stem cells, and we can use them in other parts of the body. And when it works, it doesn't always work, but when it does work, those cells will take on the form of a liver cell or whatever it is, and will reproduce and bring life back to dead material and make it living and re-energize it. We haven't figured out how to make it so that men can have babies. We haven't figured out how to make it so that women who've transitioned to men can get a woman pregnant. Now, see, some things we can't figure out because it's not for us to figure out. God already had it figured out. So a robot will never be able to mate with any living material and create offspring. Now, we can take the best of both worlds, because when you think about it, that's what a vaccine is. When it works the way it's supposed to, a vaccine takes part of a virus and then takes other stuff so that when we intake that vaccine, we get some immunity to the actual virus. That's taking the best of both worlds. That's where we are with cancer treatment. That's why now certain cancers are almost 100% curable. Because we've taken that, and I say we like I'm a doctor. You know, I know so much about so many different things just because of life and experience. I need to have a frame picture on my wall with all capitals in bold that says PhD. Okay, it don't have to say a PhD in nothing. Okay, it just say PhD. So I can say I got my PhD. Because sometimes I be dropping the facts, telling you stuff the doctors ain't gonna tell you, telling you stuff the scientists ain't gonna tell you, telling you stuff your bosses ain't gonna tell you. So Savage Keefa and my generic PhD, okay? My generic PhD, I'm good with that. Because although my PhD is generic, the facts I be telling y'all ain't. So, great question, Jewel. The goal is, and I think that's how we work as humans. We want to improve things. And when you think about it, the things that make us great are the same things that make us weak. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. A hardworking person. Think about that husband who works all day and all night to provide for the family. See, that's what makes him a great man. And at the same time, that's why the children are starved of attention. So the things that make us great, the fact that we're smart, we can figure out how to fix things. We are always chasing improvement, the need to make better. So much so that's why the whole world is walking around taking Ozempic. Nobody is happy with just how things are. So that's the good and the bad, because we desire to have a better world, because we desire for things to be better, we're constantly improving. We got electric cars. We have artificial intelligence. Medicine has come a lot further. You know, like I said, we could solve some cancer issues. A lot of viruses would kill people back in the day. We have pretty much wiped out So many of those viruses, like the Black Plague. I talked about polio before. See, a lot of these, it's rare you see them because of human intervention. So human intervention is not a bad thing. But see, we can't intervene and fix everything. That's just a fact. Women that have transitioned will never be able to get a woman pregnant. Not like organically. It ain't gonna happen. I don't care how much artificial intelligence we have. It ain't ever going to be able to happen organically. Now, look, you can plug in some stuff and strap on some stuff and fill up some stuff with some stuff. And then you might be able to get it to work. But that is not organic. That is inorganic. And so we're talking about how can we ethically marry the two? How can we do it ethically? I don't have that answer for y'all because it is an individual choice. We are going to get to the point in society where you will personally have to choose for yourself, and if you have children, for yourself and your children until they're old enough to choose for themselves. Do I want to make a choice to go with this robotic XYZ thing, whatever it is, or am I going to choose to just see a human doctor? Okay? Because let's say you do have a choice. You have a choice to see a chat therapist or an actual human therapist. If you know all things are equal and the chat therapist is going to give you the same information, probably better than the actual human, because your chat doesn't have a lack of sleep. They're not overloaded with caseload and all of that. You have to make the choice for you. Savage Talk with Keefa. We will be right back after the break. Don't go nowhere.
furnace, but you wouldn't listen.
What's up, what's up, what's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back. And I know y'all didn't go nowhere. The show is fire tonight. Y'all know when I get in the zone, I could talk straight without no breaks. And in fact, I believe I might have did that once. I might have talked straight with no breaks. So yes, we have been talking artificial intelligence. We've been talking robots. We've been talking humanoid robots. We've been talking dog bots. We've been talking opportunities. Everything starts with imagination. You want to know what's crazy, y'all? To this day, I tell this story because number one, it has a huge part in my life, has everything to do with my success today. And it's going to sound crazy. But see, when I was young, I remember, I think maybe my 9th birthday or something like that. I remember my parents bought me a Mickey Mouse record player. Okay, yeah. I was in the records. Like, really, actually, I remember 8-track tapes and all of that. But y'all that's listening, y'all don't know nothing about that. So we going to just stick with albums and records. You probably don't know nothing about that either. But they was round plastic vinyl things that had little holes in the middle. You put them on the player. You put the needle on the vinyl. And miraculously, it would play music. It would play whatever was recorded onto it. Well, my parents bought me this Mickey Mouse record player. And I got 2 albums. Or no, I got 3. One was the Sugar Hill Gang. Another one was Natalie Cole. And the main one was The Wiz. Now, to this day, The Wiz is one of my favorite movies. And when you think about it, The Wiz was all about looking for something and not finding it because you already had it. It was with you the whole time. Not only that, it was about having your tribe. People that believe in you, people that you believe in, and you guys are on the journey together. That movie gave me so much inspiration as a child, even when I didn't know what was going on. I got it. Even back then, I knew that whatever I already had was going to get me to where I needed to go. So what does that mean and why is it important? See, that means at the minute I had that realization, my parents was off the hook because I knew that whatever it is that I was going to do in my life, whatever it was that I needed, I already had it. So that means my parents had already did their job. Whether I knew it and understood it or not. The other thing is this. The Wiz, that encouraged me to use my imagination. I had to use my imagination. So movies like that, to this day, I still love. It was a movie with what's his name? Not Morgan Freeman, but what's the other one who got the cockeyed? You know who I'm talking about. He's another big actor. It's on the tip of my tongue. He plays in Forrest Whitaker. The cockeye and the messed up head in the back. Forrest Whitaker. Now, look, if you in Hollywood and you got all of that money, go get your head fixed. Get the eye surgery because he's a brilliant actor. And the thing is this, when actors are brilliant like that, see, they pulling it from somewhere inside. That means they got a brilliant mind. So got to give respect there. Because he's done some incredible, especially if you saw The Last King of Scotland. If you haven't seen that movie, you got to check that out. The Last King of Scotland, he did an incredible job. But Forrest Whitaker, I don't know, maybe a few years ago, Forrest Whitaker, Felicia Rashad, and this other young lady, they made a movie. It was a Christmas movie called Japonicus something or another. And he was a toy maker. And it turned out his toys was magic. So to this day, I still love those movies. Because while fairies and, fairy dust, that kind of stuff might not be real. See, the person or persons who actually created the books or who had the vision to create these movies, it took imagination to come up with the concepts. And you can't sleep on these movies. This is why I would make my kids watch The Wiz with me every Christmas or Christmas Eve. Now, yeah, they thought it was corny because it's from the 70s. So, yeah, while visually, it may have been corny, musically, the music still holds up to this day. If you go back and listen to every track on The Wiz, Quincy Jones did the whole soundtrack. The music is incredible. But not only that, the concepts still stand. The concepts still stand. Whatever it is you want for your life, in your life, it's already with you. You got to have the vision. You got to have the vision to bring it to fruition. That's what the movie is about. Same thing with the Japonicus Right movie or whatever it's called. You got to have the vision. And even when evil comes at you in all its different forms, when you know it's already within you, that evil has no hold on you. It has no power over you. Now, I'm using evil as a metaphor for people in your life, jobs in your life, external factors that stop you from doing the great things and becoming the great person that God already ordained for you to be. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying evil, but you know what? Most of the times, it don't look like evil. Most of the times, the stuff that stops you looks like love. That's if you don't recognize it. Yes, most of the times, let me say it again. Most of the times, the things that stop you look like love. When they're external factors, the boyfriend and girlfriends, the husband and wives, the folks that tell you, yeah, that's a good idea, but it's COVID. People ain't gonna spend that kind of money. Listen, do you want to know how many times I've been told that in my life? Oh, you charge that much? People gonna spend that kind of money? Well, yeah, I've spent it. And I always say, if you ain't never bought something for $5,000, you ain't going to be able to sell something for $5,000 because you don't know what it feel like. And you selling a lie. So already I know someone's mindset when they're talking to me from that perspective. Because what I learned as a child from The Wiz and the other movies like that, I'm just talking about that because that's the prominent one that comes up. Star Wars was another one. Yeah, Star Wars was another one. I always believed I was a Jedi. I didn't know exactly what it meant, but I knew I had the Jedi power. It was already inside me, but I had to do something to activate, to learn how to activate it, use it, or whatever. And y'all might think I'm BSing, but this is a fact. This is true. You had that same power too. When you make that connection to the universe and energy, you'll start realizing the power. See, you'll start seeing it manifest in your life. You may not see it now because you don't believe it. Just like when Michael Jackson was the scarecrow and he was up on that thing, he didn't believe he can get down because the crows was telling him, you can't win. You can't break even. You can't get out of the game. You keep trying. People keep telling you things will get better, but it looks just like they staying the same. You can't win. You over your head. People will tell you that. That's their reality. And it took Diana Ross, it took Dorothy and Toto to come and say, look, just get down. Just get down. You can come with me because I'm trying to get home. So on this road, I'm trying to get home. We can get you the brain. And then, you know the story. They meet the lion. The lion is looking for courage. All of the stuff. You know how I always say, you can't see the forest for the trees. You in the forest, right? That's like you inside yourself and you don't recognize your own greatness because you're looking outside. See, the view from inside the bottle is not the same as looking in the bottle. The view from inside, you feel like you're stuck. Yeah, that's the view from the inside. But you're not inside the bottle. You actually had a bottle in your hand. You guys know one of the greatest phrases I didn't invent, but I always say it is, everything looks like a failure from the middle. That's a fact. Everything looks like a failure if you're in the middle of it. But see, you can't let the things outside of you stop you. And here's another real example. Oh, I'm scared of that AI. I heard that it can this and that. Yeah, it's going to end up taking over. Well, how you know what it's going to do? You just said you're scared of it. You don't know nothing about it. So all you're doing is regurgitating some other nonsense. So we have to have imaginations. You got to practice. Practice having bold thoughts and dreams. Practice filling in the gaps on things that you feel like is so outside of you, so beyond what you can do, so beyond what you know. Practice seeing yourself right there. Knowing, having a full understanding. Visualize yourself sitting at the table with the open AI's creators and the Bill Gates and the Elon Musk's and, I know I didn't say that right, but the Muskuses. And even the Donald Trumps. Because you know what? Donald Trump don't tell the truth, but he's a brilliant salesperson. Savage Talk with Keefa. We'll be right back.
my love.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Savage Talk is back. Yes, we in the second hour of the show. I hope you have been getting some of this good artificial intelligence knowledge. But actually, you know what? Let me take it back. I hope you've been getting some of this reach for the stars, inspiration, practice using your brain to think beyond what you believe you can do. That's a task, and that takes practice. Because I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm going to give you a word. And I want you to, if you got pen and paper, you can write it down. You can use your phone. I want you to think of as many ways that you can use this thing to make money as you can, okay? You ready? Now, what's the thing? The thing is a brick. Yeah, a regular old orange brick, like you see on the side of these houses in Georgia. Or you might see, I never understood that. Why you only have brick on the front? I mean, is that they trying to save money? And then you had this siding on the rest of the house. So one of those bricks, an orange brick, I want you to write down or put in your phone as many ways you can use that brick to make money. Most adults will think of exactly what I said. Well, you can use it to build stuff. Build what? A house, a mailbox, landscaping. That's all in the same arena. But what if you could crush the bricks up? Use it for a different type of material. What if you use it as a paperweight? What if you could slice it up into thinner pieces of brick? You can use it as wallpaper. There's so many different ways of looking at something. Using your imagination allows you access to those different ways. Because if you go in the bathroom, if you see a toilet, most people say a toilet is just for using the bathroom in. But using your imagination, you can visualize, well, that toilet is made up of ceramic or plastic or wood or whatever it is. See, when you know the material, then you know other things you can make with that material. You don't have to only imagine it in the form that it's in. Using your imagination allows you to create different formed objects, different types of technology, right? Because if Henry Ford, who did the first car, or at least that's what history says, but we know history ain't always true, what we read. So always take it with a grain of salt. But for purposes of this, if Henry Ford is the one who actually invented the car, see, if he was stuck on the fast horse, we wouldn't have the cars. It took a brain that thought differently, that saw beyond a fast horse. Because while people were just, we're going to keep breeding these horses. Let's get the fastest male horse, the fastest female horse, and then let's see what the offspring do. And then we'll take that offspring and we'll mate it with another offspring that's super fast. And we're going to keep creating the fastest horse. Well, somebody had to say, well, damn it, I'm tired of these horses. We got to feed them. They crapping all over the place. Sometimes they don't like you. One of them don't like my wife, so she can't even ride the horse because it bucks her off all the time. So Henry Ford said, well, look, I noticed this rock is round and it rolled down the hill. What if I could build something on top of 4 rocks to roll down the hill? See, that's how it starts. It's imagination. Whatever you imagine, it ain't crazy. It takes imagination. You got to practice that. All of these inventions. You watch Shark Tank? Oh, I don't know if it still comes on, but when it did come on, some of those things, when people would present their ideas, if you like me, you said, dang, I didn't even know. That's brilliant. I didn't even think I would need one of those. But you know what? Now that I think about it, let me go on and get this product. Right now, this is the AI revolution. It's like this. This is a time where everybody can succeed in AI if they believe it and they do something with it. Everybody. Because right now, regulations are low. Technology is high. Access to the technology is easy. That's a fact. It's the Wild Wild West. So you better get in it before all the regulations come down. Besides, y'all gonna have a whole bunch of time when y'all can't be doing nothing with TikTok no more. When they ban TikTok, you're gonna have all kind of time on your hands because you ain't gonna be watching the TikTok videos. You ain't gonna be trying to make viral TikTok videos. You'll go back to having a regular, normal life like you did prior to TikTok. But no, okay, but on TikTok, the real is, I don't believe it's going to get fully banned. I do believe, I know there's one millionaire, he's already putting together a group of other millionaires to try to buy TikTok. So I'm pretty sure we have enough people that are interested in TikTok in the United States where they can buy it. So it's under US ownership. But the reality is, that's probably not going to be enough that it's under U.S. ownership because we are U.S. owned applications and servers get hacked all the time. If Fulton County can get hacked, in fact, Fulton County, all of those folks in Fulton County, they might as well just go ahead and prepare for their data to be out on the dark web. Because Fulton County didn't want to pay the money. They didn't pay the money. And the people have all of the folks' information. So look, you guys, you've been listening to Savage Talk with Keefa on 101 TKO Radio. It is Thursday, March the 14th. Your life is your life is your life. So make every bit of it what you want. Every day is another day to create the life that you want, to stop talking about it and to be about it. I thank y'all so much for giving me your ear. I thank you for tuning in to Savage Talk with Keefa. I am forever grateful. We are connected in the universe, and that is a great thing. I love people. I love y'all. I am on every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can catch us on YouTube, streaming live. Download the 101 TKO Radio app. We are out. I will see y'all next week.